Evaluation Question 1. In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of a real media product? When creating my music magazine, I wanted to pastiche the existing magazine Kerrang! The reason I chose Kerrang! Was because it had a similar subgenre to the magazine I was creating. Kerrang's house style was also very similar to mine, which I liked. Stuart Hall's theory is that representations are carefully encoded to give us a particular view, and I wanted to do this in my product by pastiching Kerrang! I used the same copy of Kerrang! Throughout the production of my music magazine. The reason I chose to do this was because I wanted to make sure that my product all fitted in together, looked realistic, and all the elements linked together to create a realistic looking magazine. To make my magazine look as realistic as Kerrang!, I used a masthead, banner, main cover image, strapline, barcode, cell line and plugs. I used all these elements as I wanted to pastiche Kerrang! To make my product look realistic. I used similar colours to Kerrang!, but I changed the red to yellow to give my magazine a more different and individual look. I used a mid-shot for my main cover image, as this is a typical image for a front cover used on the majority of music magazines. I used a large black font for my masthead with a white box behind it, which is similar to Kerrang's. I wanted to make mine like Kerrang's, as Kerrang's is a very recognisable and eye-catching masthead. I put the name of the musician on the front cover in a larger font than the strapline to pastiche Kerrang!, but I still made them both bold and stand out with the house style in order to make them fit in. I have stuck to the layout of Kerrang! For my contents page. The reason I did this was because Kerrang's layout is very basic and easy to follow. First of all, I measured the width, height, gutter width, and etc. for Kerrang! I then typed in the information into Quark. Like Kerrang!, I had a photo taking up the first third of my contents page, and I also had 5 columns. Just like Kerrang's contents page, I use my first column for the editor's column and the rest telling the reader about the articles. To continue with my house style, I use black, yellow and white throughout my contents page to create pastiche. I use black text for I used a black box and white text for the editor's article to pastiche Kerrang's, and it also stood out, which is why I did this. I based the layout of my double page spread out of Kerrang! I did the same as I did for my contents page by measuring out a real magazine and putting all the measurements into Quark. I continued to use the same house style to make it look realistic, and so all 3 pieces linked together. I put an image of my musician on the first page with her name across the top and a quote underneath. I put this in a large bright font. This was so it would stand out and entice the reader to read the interview on the next page. I used font 7 for my article because this is the font size Kerrang! Uses. Using pastiche has helped me to create a realistic product so my music magazine looks as genuine